Capricorn, welcome back for your twin flame reading. Now we're going to look at the energy for you and your counterpart, as well as what's going on between you and the way in which to look at it. Now I have pulled cards in addition to the 3D, the 5D and the 4D of what's blocking them, what's grounding it, and how to look at it. Now do be mindful that we're still in the aspect of the Venus retrograde. Major decisions, try and be cautious in the way you're going to connect and communicate with your counterpart if you're in direct communication or if they come in. Also be mindful of trigger points, especially with, moving towards the 16th. It's going to be very hard to be clear about, and this is probably going to come through in a lot of the readings on YouTube, because we are really reflective, feeling like, we're down in our frequency. How do we look at it? So it's quite natural that within the readings, our mindset is going to come through in the reading. So try not to get triggered connected to that. It's a temporary frequency. I'll be doing an update mid-month as to where it's going after the fact of the Venus retrograde. So try and not get too triggered thinking, oh my God, is this permanent? No, it's not. It's more the mindset coming through, which will be coming through in a lot of the readings, and how we can look at it. Now, like I said, be cautious communicating if you are, or thinking that the grass is greener theory, perhaps with a soulmate energy or another person who's directly interested in you. I'm not saying don't interact and connect, but be mindful that this year has been a year of coming into duality with self. So entering other people into that equation, every other person has old history, and currently we're dealing with old history. So what you're doing is attaching yourself to more karmic frequencies. Try and make it through to a point. You just keep it very simple. It's not to say don't have the connection, but wait till after the retrograde. It's going to keep you and that person safer. Now, let's have a look at what's going on with your read. Those of you who are new, big warm welcome, and I hope you join the tribe. Now, your crowning energy. You're trying to make a fair, educated decision. What was I saying? During a retrograde. Very hard to do. So it can be that you're really not looking at it from a 3D energetic point of view. Yes, emotionally and spiritually, both of you want a judgment. Both of you would like the information and to know how to move and proceed forward. Both of you wanting, really, Capricorn, the happy home, the marriage, the moving to the next level, the bond, the connection. This could be towards them or in general. Very focused on each other. You're both doing the same thing. The counterpart may know more so that this is a deep spiritual connection, but I think both of you are getting on board. But this energy here for Capricorn is really trying to get out of the conflict. Really trying to move through it. So there can be conflict happening in the 3D life, the conflict between you and them, or the demons inside. And I'm feeling it's the demons inside. But externally, I do feel that they are directly dealing with that. You feel as though there are stresses and delays and you're waiting for a karmic cycle to end, especially with this internal conflict. Okay? Fights, bickering, conflict, misunderstandings. It can be directly connected to a Leo energy. Again, you're waiting for that to transform. You're waiting for that cycle to end. For you personally, you need to really... you're aware that you need to wait for a karmic cycle to end. Now, karmic energies do not have to be physical people, third-party energies, etc. It could be a job, it could be family members, a mindset, patterns that need to be grown out of. This is what is going on in your 3D life right now. Now, if you are directly, working with your twin already, it's working through those conflicts to get your crowning energy coming through. Okay, so again, it can be overindulgence in alcohol, drugs, etc., or just all or nothing attitude coming through. And this is really what they're trying to climb out of. Now, because we are in retrograde, and this year a lot of the planets have been, and the energies can bounce back and forward. So they could be meditating, you could be a feminine meditating upon your masculine, and this is the current frequency coming through. So they can go both ways. However, whatever was excessively done, balance is trying to be had. And again, in their family connections, the reason, if this is a masculine energy, may have been due to family betrayals, or there might have been betrayal within the connection with you, or their fair-based frequencies may be this also. Now, you don't have to be a male to hold masculine energy. We both hold masculine and feminine. The way in which to know is to tune in with who you were initially, the runner or the chaser, and then directly tune into how much work you've done, where you are spiritually in your path, and have you come to a place where you're able to utilize both frequencies without the aspect of the, you know, the codependent energy, or the savior, the rescuer, all of those modes, really putting the frequency back onto yourself. Now, it's going to be harder this week because we are trying to make an assessment in a non-assessment time. For you personally, counterpart, you are doing the work and you are independent, okay? Or it can be that they know that this is what's needed. Okay. What is grounding this situation is, okay, so what's getting this twin Capricorn stuck at the moment to do the work and to deal with 3D situations is dealing with two areas, multitasking, but they're having to address two given areas in order to make an assessment. So this could be for some of you where they are with the karmic and they are in love with you and they're being separate from you. And I won't say who they're in love with more, because soul energies are meant for spiritual transformations in general. It's not, there's no way a person will be with someone they don't love. It's just a different frequency. There could be for some of you where there is two given people and it is a left and right. But if they're not directly communicating with you, this frequency that is getting them stuck is left or right. Who am I more passionate about? Who am I not? What is up in the air? Is an injustice, which is the unfair situation of not being able to move. For some of them, it could be work and love, you know, too many things in the air, but it's getting them stuck. That's what's delaying them coming forward. If you are directly dealing with them, it's the fact that that's going on. If you aren't, it could be work-related dynamics and bills, or it's having to work two jobs to make ends meet, or having too much on their plate as well. Where they're getting to a judgment factor, but what's up in the air and what they're fearing is that this isn't going to come to fruition, that it's imbalanced and it's not going to happen. And again, our egos are directly being impacted in the 4D, but our higher knowing tells us there is going to be, but our higher knowing is getting triggered by the veil being thin and the 4D interfering in this frequency. That's changing as we fight through that frequency. Now, where the passion and the sacral chakra energy is at within their fire element, learning how to use this power in a strong way. So it can be owning their power if they're a masculine energy. If you're a feminine, it's again the same thing. Having to learn how to use your power. And, you know, power doesn't mean zeal. It doesn't mean fist pump, screaming. You know, not talking can be power. Making a statement can be power. Standing in your truth can be power. Manipulation is not power. So it's really learning what that is. And this is what's, you know, even this frequency alone, if this isn't being used correctly and there's a manipulation of power, this is going to be humbled in that frequency, because the 3D and the 4D working together is they're going to have a reality check with their fair-based energies of what power directly means and how not having it will actually come about. Does that make sense? So it's sort of the mirror. 4D connected to their water element, their emotions, their feelings. 4D fair-based energies of endings really coming through. You know, if this is a masculine energy and they're a Capricorn, I feel spiritually they have a complete knowing of what they want. At a 3D level, some karmic cycles are coming full circle at a very harsh level to help this person actually understand what they're fearing. Okay. Now, I am going to do a mid-month read for the twins. So stay tuned, and the frequency will change by the 16th. So I'm going to do a medium style reading here so we can have a look at it, and then we can have another look at it come the time that mid-month rolls around. Otherwise, you can book a reading and I can tune directly into your situation. If you have to make a decision, find someone to book a reading if you don't feel comfortable in that. If you can delay and you don't have to make decisions, ride out till the 16th. If you have to, go to someone you trust or find the internal compass, you know, to gain your clarity. Ultimately, you have to live with that. But it is a risque time at the moment with making those major decisions. Okay, at the moment, Capricorn, there is miscommunication. There is a misunderstanding happening in their life. And it's like one speaking English, one speaking Turkish. It's like, I'm not quite seeing what you're saying. Maybe let's use body language. For you personally, you want this to go to the next level, and it may be that you're both saying the same thing, especially with your crowning energy cards. You're just saying it in a different way. Can be your vibration, can be your feeling, but you're not communicating it, but it's so. Okay, they're really resisting this transformation. But one of you is really wanting this to come together. The transformation is more a personal thing. It's very separate to the actual spiritual connection. It may be that there is a transformation happening within the connection, but unable to yet due to this education happening. That can move, and again, it's quite a synchronicity, not really, an irony that it's happening around the negative part of the Venus retrograde, where the rose-colored glasses come off and we're seeing the knit and grit and things that, you know, we're wanting, but can we? It can be really looking at the grass being greener on an easier path for some feminines or for some masculines, but then having a realization of, well, we know the truth. It might be emotional, but we've got to be rational. What is it we really want? Time is being moved. We need to make a correct decision. One or the other. Both of you don't feel safe, but you are going through an awakening, both of you, at the same time. You have moved out of the codependent pattern, and if this hasn't transformed during this cycle, this is what's going to come about. But it is causing a lot of grief and anger within the connection. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm going to do an update hopefully before the 16th. Also, what I will say is just be cautious about making any rash decisions when it comes to which path to take at a very diabolical level. Like, that's it. Because what you can find is the regret after the fact. So try and do the work, feel, you know, and absorb the frequency, and then work on that and check in with readings mid-month. Otherwise, book a reading and I can tune into yours.